Hello friends, it's me, and today we're checking out Game Theory. We solve Kissy Missy from Game Theorists. Together, let's go! Experiment MTPT exits the facility. Oh, it's MapPad! Employees ring the alarm and give chase. MTPT. MapPad! All available security staff begin pursuit of MTPT. By this time, MTPT was estimated to have traveled a half mile from the facility. MapPad! Wow!
He couldn't have gotten far. What was that? Stay alert. There. Stay calm. Don't worry. I'm not here to hurt you. How about a Diet Coke? You want one? Yeah?
Jump scare! Jump scare! Jump scare!
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Game Theory! Hi! Jump scare!
Show that only gives you one instruction. Have fun.
Smash the subscribe button.
Oh! Have fun! No! Smash the subscribe button!
Huh, mysterious red text that isn't the same as the rest? Totally not suspicious. Today, with the FNAF timeline finally behind me, we are overdue to cover something completely different. A game where we explore an abandoned children's entertainment venue filled with oversized characters that were at one point friendly, but then turned evil on account of being possessed by the souls of dead children. See? Completely different.
See? Completely different! FNAF reference.
Yes, my friends, we're hopping back onto the Poppy Playtime train because while I've been busy over in my own personal animatronic hellscape, Mob Entertainment has been dropping all sorts of new content. The spin-off title Project Playtime, a complex multi-month-long ARG, and my other favorite form of content, analog horror YouTube videos. Because you can't spell analog horror without the lore. Oh, I suppose you can. There's no E in analog horror. Well, guess what? It's a silent E anyway. Call it the phonetic spelling of lore. So far, Mob
Not bad! You can't do that! You can't!
has released two quote-unquote lost VHS tapes to their YouTube channel. One from 1992 and the second from 1995. Look, the titles have the dates in there and everything. Even a .mp4 at the end for that truly authentic lost footage feel. Despite the fact that the MP4 as a file format didn't exist until 2001. But who made a joke? Anachronistic file formats aside, these things aren't just filled with a bunch of mindless spooks building hype for the eventual release of Chapter 3, they're also filled with clues to the lore. And I think, thanks to one of these, I've been able to solve the identity of a fan favorite character. Everyone's beloved jumbo pink plushie, Kissy Missy. Who's hidden inside our floppy little friend? I think I have the answer for you. So grab your tranquilizer darts and flashlights, theorists. There's a theory on the loose. The first VHS released onto the channel was called Restricted Disappearance 06/18/1992.mp4. In this video, we see Huggy escape the facility and run out into the woods with a large group of Playtime employees in pursuit. 5 end up dead and 6 remain missing. Seems like Huggy can't be stopped. But then the video ends with an ominous scene of the giant Huggy peacefully standing next to a normal residential house. He's captured and brought back to the facility. In terms of lore, this video does a lot with very little. On the surface, this tape feels very straightforward. Huggy escapes the facility, scares ensue, and then he's brought back. But this short, basic narrative actually goes a long way to confirm many suspicions that we've had about the characters and the events of this franchise. First, this video reinforces the timeline of the Bigger Bodies initiative, Playtime Co.'s push to create giant toys that help around the factory. We know via unlockable cards that are found in Project Playtime that Mommy Longlegs started as a Bigger Body creation before they wound up making toys of her in 1991. So this VHS taking place in 1992 fits into that rather nicely. The project is in full swing at this point, and the trapped toys are starting to get restless. It also confirms something that we've suspected for a while now, that some of these giant toys were created using orphans in some way. That's why we see Huggy standing outside of a house at the end of the tape. He was just trying to go back home, the home that he was either adopted into or his foster home. His childlike instincts taking him back to the last place that he felt safe. It's this incredibly sad, somber moment that does a lot to showcase the tragedy of this game's story. And that's not all. This Huggy seems to be acting differently to the one that we met in Chapter 1. Huggy escapes the facility, but there's no mention of violence towards the staff. Huggy only seems to become violent to the employees after they shoot at him. This tells me that Huggy, and presumably some of the other experiments like him, aren't naturally violent. It also reinforces what we see in Project Playtime's tutorial. Huggy is largely complacent until the prototype urges Huggy to kill.
Oh, it's more like a self-defense instinct. Huh.
Trying to build more toys, more like you. Kill everyone in sight.
It really seems like the bigger bodies monsters are the collateral damage in this war between Playtime co-employees and the prototype, Experiment 1006. They're the innocents that wind up being caught in the middle. This is something that we can start to see more clearly in the next tape, Restricted Relocation 0808-1995.mp4. In this newest VHS tape, we see Kissy Missy being transported towards Playcare in August of 1995. The tape repeatedly tells us not to view the footage. I can't possibly see that plan going wrong in any way. Again, just shows the absolute negligence of this company. So of course, we keep watching, and in true Playtime Co. fashion, things start to go wrong. We travel down the rails with Kissy strapped to the train. As we ride, we pass by graffiti on the wall that reads, "The hour of joy is at hand." In between camera shots, we see text flash on screen meant to be instructions for employees, but then each message winds up getting overridden by capitalized red text that says basically to do the opposite. It tells them to release the straps that bind Kissy Missy, which, as you'd expect, means that the employees wind up dead at the side of the tracks. It's another simple, straightforward tape that does an incredible job of hiding tons of lore clues in plain sight. Let's just start with the date, shall we? Poppy's already done a great job of mapping out a very clear timeline for us, unlike some other franchises. At this point, we know...
Is that FNAF.
when each toy was made, starting with Poppy in 1950 and ending with BoogieBot in 1993. And because Mommy Longlegs was a big body before her toy released in 1991, we also know that the giant toys were in development sometime before that. At this point, the only key date that we're really missing is the day that the toys went rogue, destroying the facility and either kidnapping or killing members of the staff, as we hear in the background of this Chapter 1 VHS tape.
That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake won't be made twice.
But now, thanks to a combination of this relocation tape as well as the developer interview, I think we can tell when it happened. Recently, the developers went onto Discord to answer a bunch of questions that the community had, and one was about the date in which the Playtime Co. factory shut down. Well, I'm sure we all would have loved to have a definitive answer from them. Where's the fun in that? They had to make us work for it. What they did clarify, though, was that the factory did not shut down in the 2000s. This then narrows our window to a 7-year period between 1993 and 1999, which, let's say, is a lot more precise than we've had up to this point. But I actually think we can do it one better. Take a listen to the audio that we hear in the background of the restricted relocation tape. Hear those screams in the background? Do they sound familiar?
Whether those who are beneath us understand it or not.
Those screams, the screams of employees being mauled to death by giant toys, those are the screams that we can hear in the distance. The event that shut the factory down happened on this date, August 8th, 1995. This is the day of the Great Toy Rampage, and it's all on account of him. Experiment 1006, the prototype.
Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him.
He's the one orchestrating this attack on the employees. Not only is he speaking telekinetically to all the toys in the facility, urging them to kill, but he's also the one manipulating these VHS tapes, altering the text to all caps or using the color red to communicate with us, getting not just the monsters to rebel, but the humans watching the tapes to listen to his commands. Suddenly, that graffiti that we see in the tunnel, "The hour of joy is at hand," makes a lot more sense. It feels like something that Experiment 1006 would say, or more specifically, the person that became 1006, Elliot Ludwig. His whole goal was to bring joy to children, and after being betrayed and turned into a monster by Leith Pierre and the Doctor, it makes sense that he would use the same terminology, almost ironically. These toys were made from children to be workhorses. Now, he will finally be able to free them and give them the joy that he had promised them since the beginning. Except, there was one thing that didn't quite go according to plan. Kissy Missy didn't kill the train staff like she was supposed to. Now, I know y'all probably think that I've lost it. Clearly, those Playtime employees around her feet are dead. Just look at the blood on Kissy, around her feet, around her hands, around her mouth. This is an open and shut case, right? But to that I say, look again.
What do you think these are? Is that not blood splat? I mean, could be scratches.
1006 is the only creature that we currently know about in this entire facility that has claws capable of creating marks in the wood like that. He has to have been here during this moment, shredding up the employees once he realized that Kissy wasn't going to be doing it herself. What's more, more, Kissy Missy is laying on top of the scratches. It means that she was standing aside while the prototype slashed and slaughtered everyone around her, and then resumed her position on the train when he was done, like a good, obedient toy. Truly the best girl. You can even see what appears to be bones or intestines on the floor by her feet, something that would have been eaten if this was any other giant toy. But Kissy refused. She left them there. This wasn't an act of hunger like with Huggy killing people. This was 1006 acting out of revenge. Revenge for turning him into a monster, for torturing the kids that he swore to protect, and for locking away the only thing he ultimately cared about, his daughter, Poppy. But I think we can actually keep going here. I think we can actually prove the identity of Kissy Missy. We're rarely given names of actual humans in this franchise, but when we are given a name, they tend to be repeated a lot throughout the chapters to show that they're going to be important to the ongoing narrative. That said, there are still a couple names right now that haven't led to anything substantial. For instance, during chapter 2, we can actually find this note.
Entire batch of toys is miscolored due to Patty Hall sabotaging the painting machine. Saboteur has since been dealt with.
Patty Hall. This was a new character that we'd never heard about before and was never mentioned again. That struck me as odd. Even one-off characters like Avery, the disgruntled worker from a VHS found in chapter 1, gets himself a second VHS in chapter 2 to flesh him out a bit. But Patty? Yeah, she was just there. A random name on a random rejected toy form. Or at least...
Or is it really random? It's like, why is it included into the game?
That's the way it was until the ARG launched. In case you missed this one, the ARG involved us following the story of a new character, Rowan Stoll, an employee who was slowly figuring out that something wasn't quite right at Playtime. And as a part of that ARG, he released a bunch of internal documents via an FTP server that we could access. And one of those documents on there was this, a disciplinary document for a familiar face, Patty Hall. Quote, details of occurrence, sabotage of retail shipment. This week of 1/2/91, employee intentionally sabotaged factory equipment, in particular, a paint machine. The employee mismatched 57 paint canisters, resulting in an extraordinary amount of toys no longer being suitable for retail. Retail shipment number 018345 was recalled, resulting in a significant amount of lost revenue, as well as damaging Playtime Co.'s brand image amongst several major retailers. There is substantial evidence supporting the assumption that this sabotage was done in some sort of defiance to several of Playtime Co.'s practices. Plan for disciplinary action, effective immediately. Employee is demoted from toy designer and will be sent downstairs to Storage B to receive further instructions. All of this took place on January 2nd, 1991, signed by none other than our good friend and leader of the Bigger Bodies Initiative, the Doctor. The next time we're down in Storage B, there are no employees working there. It is literally a storage room for toys that are being experimented on. Notice the blood that covers this smaller Mommy Longlegs doll in the background. The only living thing that we see in Storage B, Kissy Missy. Could it be that Kissy Missy and Patty Hall are actually one and the same? I know that might feel like a bit of a stretch, but think about what we're seeing here. It's 1991, so the Bigger Bodies Initiative is in full swing. We have a character in Patty who's openly defiant to those in authority, a chaotic neutral, just like we see with Kissy defying the prototype's rampage. And we have ourselves a character associated with creating alternate colored versions of other toys, just like how Kissy is an alternate colored Huggy. Plus, the biggest clue of all, the fact that we've only seen Storage B mentioned with regards to these two characters screams a connection. Lastly, it would explain why Kissy Missy is friendly towards us in Chapter 2. Sure, she's against Playtime Co. She has been from the start. She was sabotaging their toys, but I also don't think that she's on the side of 1006. She witnessed the monster kill her fellow employees in cold blood on the train. My gut is that she just wants this whole place to burn. And so when she sees us, a person trapped inside the facility just trying to get out, she sees an opportunity. We are the only ones that can stop not only 1006, but also destroy Playtime Co. from the inside, have those still alive brought to justice, and have the fond legacy of Playtime Co. tarnished and forgotten forever. That is why she helped us, and given the instructional video shows her heading towards the Playcare, I wouldn't be surprised if we bump into her again in Chapter 3, helping us to take on whatever new threat awaits us. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. And if
Thank
you
you
want to
so
keep
much.
this Poppy train a-rolling, here's a link to our most recent Poppy theory over on the left, where we break down the secrets in the game's first season to dive deeper into the origins of 1006. Or, you know, if you're sick of listening to us talk about dead kids, you could always watch our video on Tom Nook's criminal undertakings. I promise you, there is more to him than meets the eye. That video is over on the right. As always, my friends, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next week.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find this video quite interesting to watch, and yeah, it have a wholesome vibe to it, at least the end. So thank you so much, my pet. Thank you. So what's the comment section about this video? I'm terrified by any horror, but I know the thorough lore of multiple horror games thanks to MatPat and the team. Lol. MatPat is the true creepypasta, hidden in plain sight, disproving all the others to keep himself safe, and we're the one helping him. I'm gobsmacked by the fact that Matthew, Theodore Patrick would ever be so hideous as to jump scare his audience. Wait, what's the meaning of Theodore? Dumbledore, Theodore. Alright, MatPat finally solved more law on FNAF and Poppy Playtime. Also MatPat, still can't figure out why there's no letter E when putting together analog horror into lore. Oh, I love this channel. Matt can make any bad day just a little better. He's a very positive dude. Matt really makes me happy. He never fails to impress. That's right. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find this video quite interesting to watch. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any questions of us. Don't forget to follow my channel and hope to see my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. Game theory. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Subscribe.